All right, here we go. Happy Friday from yours truly. I got a fun 4th of July weekend planned. Mostly relaxing though. Fun and relaxing. I'm excited about it. You know, the thing is though, as I mentioned in the description, there's a little discrepancy this year. Well, I don't know if it's a discrepancy. There's just something that is a little different. And we are going to talk about that because a year ago, a certain entity in the town with no state thought it was a good idea to tell you how good you had it a year ago. Well, it's a little different this year, and that's what the show is going to be about. Johnny, play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night.
Yeah! Stop the music! Thank you. Hello, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P. Dog Night on the internet. Welcome back to the P. Dog Night channel. Happy Canada Day to my Canadian brothers and sisters. First, it is today, right? Did I get that right? I know it's something like, isn't it like, because today is going to be the first Canada Day celebrations like in person in a long time. Couple years, 3 years, I think. And I know y'all are excited about that. Happy Canada Day, my Canadian brothers and sisters. I've got to tell you. Anyway, good morning, and I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that I'm here. While you're here, hit the like button at some point. Share the stream now because we're already started. So some of the people are going to be late. Anyway, and we're gonna just gonna have us a nice little. Yes, it is. Yes, Ginger Power. It's also Bobby Bonilla Day. You read my mind. It's Bobby Bonilla Day. It's Canada Day. It's a good day. And I'm, after the show, I'm gonna drive up to a lake and hang out there for a couple of days, then come back and have a barbecue with my daughter and my son-in-law, my future son, the father of my grandchild. And then on the 4th of July, we're going to kick back and probably spend most of the day in the pool or some shit. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But let's talk about stuff we're going to talk about here because oh my God, do I have tabs open. So I should probably get started because, I'm already running late. So let's start out like I always do, just saying good morning to the troops. First in the chat today is the never sleeping Tyre Alexander. Thank you for being here. Whoops. Oh, what did I do that for? I bet the wrong one. Gosh.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that should be happy. There, that's for Tyre Alexander. Also, good morning to our friend Shady Grin. Nice to have you back. Good morning, Advocatus Diablo, the Devil's Advocate. Gunfox61, our extraordinary Discord server administrator. Also, good morning to Mike Savage, Blarg. My favorite Canadian on this wonderful Canada Day, Jaeger Pony's in the house. Also, good morning. This shit working today? It looks like it's working. It looks like is the chat working? It is. Good. That's a good thing. Also, good morning, Maddie. How you doing?
You are.
Whoa, what the hell? Wrong button. Also, good morning to who else is here? Rotten Corpse, what's up? Good morning, old grouchy Gaber's in the house. Nice to see you back, sir. Good morning, Attack Alpaca. I said Tyre already. Zablay's in the house. Nice to have you, my dear. Nice. Also, good morning, Zan Wild. And is that everybody? Tyler F's in the house. Nice to see you. San, welcome back. Rockhopper, another friend from down under. And ZA and Ginger Power and I think D.I. Freighter Watcher. Did I skip D.I. Freighter Watcher? How did I do that? Or did I say it a long time ago? No, I just didn't. Well, anyway, I am ecstatic that you are here. Oh, my goodness. And we have our first donor. By the way, if you want to sponsor the show, pdognight.live is where you can do it without sending too much of your hard-earned money to Susan, and more of it goes to the person you're sending it to. But Susan can have some too. If you want to do super chats, if you prefer that method, that's cool too. And then there's a couple other options down in the description down below. Thank you. Our first sponsor today, Godfox61. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Congratulations. Dropping a big dime on the dog's head. It says, let's see, what does this say? Here's another one for the tabs. Sadly, I couldn't find one to make your head explode. Well, oh, you know what? That's like one of my first stories, but I'll open this one up too, because it doesn't matter which one I read first. So we're going to do both of them. So anyway, did I miss anybody? Simon Wolfwood, what's up? I see you there. All right. Anyway, let's get into it, because I got some things that are just kind of early morning, like new news, and then I got more news, and then I got more news, and some opinion, and I got a couple of little videos that we're gonna just look at and react to. Good morning, Lord Stanhope. Declare independence from sobriety. Yeah. I might have a couple beers this weekend. I'm just saying. It just is what it is. I just might. All right. Let's talk about what's happening in the world, because that's what we do here. Like I said, first of all, Canada Day celebrations. Today is going to be the first time in 3 years that first in-person Canada Day celebrations, and they're going to include a huge police presence and street closures throughout downtown Ottawa to prevent anti-government freedom protesters from disrupting the festivities. Wow, God forbid you have people protest in Canada. It's not like here where everyone protests everything. Canada, if you protest the wrong thing, well, Mr. Trudeau's going to send his shock troopers after you. Didn't he have there were some protesters out there the other day, and he had them, they were getting beaten up. I don't know why. Good morning, Chicago Mike, and Legit Low Talker. Nice to see you. So anyway, Ottawa is bracing for Canada Day anti-government protests. Wow. James Topp, a Canadian Forces veteran who marched across Canada protesting against stupid 19. I can't call him Fauci juice in Canada, can I? Can I call it, I'll call it maple injections. Ahead of the maple injection, he was protesting stupid 19 maple injections, and he arrives at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and the National War Memorial ahead of Canada Day in Ottawa. Now, why are they so worried about a veteran who's you can't protest in Canada anymore? Watching the wankers whine on Twitter about how all the Canadian flags out has been entertaining. Oh, it's Canada Day. Why wouldn't you put some Canadian flags? I might throw a Canadian flag in the Twitter bio today, even though I don't put flags in my bio anymore. But anyway, the first in-person Canada Day celebrations in 3 years on Friday will include huge police presence and street closures throughout downtown Ottawa to prevent anti-government freedom. Now, notice they put freedom in scare quotes. They put freedom in scare quotes. Freedom protesters from disrupting the festivities due to the stupid 19 pandemic. The free concerts and other activities usually held on the national holiday, which celebrates the founding of the country. Wait, what? Were held last year? Oh, I see. This is a time to celebrate who we are, and coming out of a 2-year pandemic, Public Safety Minister Marco Mendocino said on Wednesday, encouraging people to take part in the festivities. I'm sorry. In Canada, you have to translate everything into French too. So that was my pig French. Anyway, there may be some effort among a small minority to try and cause disturbances or worse. Several groups are planning marches and even a dance party to protest stupid 19 Fauci maple juice something injection mandates, globalization, and what they say is government overreach in Canada. There's no government overreach in Canada. Come on. You barely have a government. Well, you got that one knucklehead that... don't you have Castro's kid up there? Something like that? Anyway, some of the same organizers were behind the truck convoy. The truck convoy that blocked Ottawa's downtown core around Parliament for 3 weeks this past winter, causing a crisis that resulted in dozens of arrests. Separate protests during the same period snarled international travel and trade at border crossings. Well, I think your prime minister snarled some international travel too, with some of them restrictions. I'm just saying. Thank you, Gunfox61, for another sponsor show. I forgot. It is Funky Friday, so for all future donations should get the Funky Friday treatment. So let's try. I need some old school. Let's go like this. Here we go. Nah, I don't like that. That's too Sandy Beach Party, gimme go some shit thing. I want something funky. Let's go funky. I want something. There we go. Let's go. Oh, much better. That has a Gap Band feel to it. Or no. Oh yeah, because could you just hear it right now? Let it whip it, baby. Time, whip it right. Or something like that. Anyway, Gunfox is another $4.99 in the tip jar, and still Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today, who says, Marty, Canada cops are like UK cops. Nothing more than want to be cops that are below the rank of flat-footed, overweight, part-time mall cop on a Segway. Give me 10 military wives, and I can take Canada. Damn, Gunfox, that's a little harsh, but let's see if our Canadian friends might or might not concur. I'm not sure. Jaeger Pony, what do you think? Do you think Gunfox and 10 military? Well, I'm assuming you mean American military wives, right? Can 10 Gunfox and 10 military wives take Canada? I don't know. That's some fighting words. My Canadian friends might, because there's some tough motherfuckers up in Canada. Trust me, I know a few. Anyway, all right. So you guys get to have a Canada Day outdoors for the first time in 3 years. Also, today is Bobby Bonilla Day. Now, if you don't know what that means, good morning, James Cowley, Jen T, and somebody else showed up that I didn't see before. Oh, no, you were already here, Old Grouch Gamer. Anyway, welcome. So, it's Bobby Bonilla Day. Now, if you're not familiar with that, here's what the Twitter is actually commemorating this. Today is Bobby Bonilla Day, when the retired baseball player will collect a $1.2 million check from the New York Mets, as he has and will continue to do every July 1st from 2011 through 2035, thanks to a buyout deal with the franchise. Now, good morning, Jay Pylon. What's up, my brother? All right, so, what the hell is that? Oh my! That's the Sammy Hagar donation. Damn, Jaeger Pony, you are awesome. So that's the I Can't Drive 55 donation. Thank you, Jaeger Pony, with the big bomb of a donation there. Thank you. And Jaeger Pony, you are
the new
Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. That where's the cheer? There you are. Wake up, people. Wake up. Yes, you gotta wake up. Okay. That's the I Can't Drive 55 donation. Who says Jaeger Pony says, get yourself and your best girl something nice to drink this weekend and blow up the sky if you're able. Cheers. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That is awesome. I can drive 55. There's your metalish Monday there, Gunfox. I saw what you wrote there. Anyway, so Bobby Bonilla Day. If you want more details on the Bobby Bonilla Day, I'm going to open up the New York Post article on this too. 13 more years until he's off the payroll. Okay, let me explain. On July 1st, it's Bobby Bonilla Day. The 59-year-old former slugger continues to relish the outcome of the Wilpon family mistake. For the 12th consecutive year, Bonilla is collecting $1,193,248.20 from the New York Mets. Now, Bonilla played for the Mets from 1992 to 1995 before being traded to the Orioles, who also make annual payments to Bonilla. This dude's just, he's set. He can probably fill his tank now. Anyway, he returned for one more year in 1999 and was released at the end of that season. The team only owed him $5.9 million at the time of his release, but decided to defer his contract until 2035 at 8% interest. So anyway, they pay him a lump sum of over $1 million every July 1st until 2035. So it's amazing. Now, by the way, some of you may not actually know what that 55 thing's about either. I don't know how old some of you are. But back in the 70s, when there was a similar crisis of gasoline shortages as there are now, I don't know if it was James Earl Carter's idea, but the Department of Transportation decided that they were going to force everybody in the country to have a maximum speed limit, even on freeways, of 55 in an effort to save gasoline, right? And so back in the early 80s, Sammy Hagar, solo artist and one-time lead singer of Van Halen, and then not Van Halen, and he's the owner of the Cabo Wabo in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, which is a great bar, had a song called I Can't Drive 55. Now, I can't use the song I Can't Drive 55 in that alert, but I found something that was kind of Sammy Hagar-esque, and so the $55 donation is known as the I Can't Drive 55 donation. I'm so glad they repealed that law during the Reagan administration, and because otherwise your maximum speed on the freeways would be 55, and it takes so much longer. Driving for example, driving from here to Omaha with the speed limit's 55, which means I go about 64, it takes like 6 hours. But if I do it now, when the speed limit's 70, where I drive 79, it takes about 5 hours and 10 minutes or so. So it's a big difference when you're driving a long way. And Costello, the only time I drive 55 is in school zones. Fuck those kids. Yes, that's beautiful. Anyway, so happy Canada Day, happy Bobby Bonilla Day, and I hope you all find a way to celebrate those days. All right, let's move on. Also just happening right now, apparently, some guy from the, National Economic Council Director Brian Deese uses the phrase, liberal world order, during an interview on CNN. Now, that's interesting because it's a similar phrase that Joe Biden used about 2017. Anyway, the only reason I'm bringing this up, because I have a story about this later, but the reason I'm bringing it up now is that it's trending on Twitter, right? And you know how Twitter decides how they like to put spin on things and try to make it so that their narrative that they want you to understand is the one that you understand, even though when you know better. By the way, I do have my cup of coffee. I have it in my Bridges of Madison County cup. You can't really see it that well, but it says, "This kind of certainty comes only once in a lifetime." Apparently that's a phrase from the movie. Then it says Bridges of Madison County has a heart, because we were just down there last weekend. Not that you care. Anyway, so let's look at Twitter's spin on this liberal world order thing, because this is kind of funny. And just listen carefully. National Economic Council Director Brian Deese uses the phrase liberal world order during an interview with CNN. The phrase is not related to the New World Order conspiracy theory of which fact checkers have regularly debunked connected claims. Oh, well, thank you for clearing that up, Twitter. Academics agree the liberal world order was established after World War II and focuses on multilateralism, openness, and rules enshrined in international institutions. Oh, the academics agree? Well, there you go. If all the academics agree, well, then that's just nothing to worry about at all. I just don't even think twice about the liberal world order. Anyway. So people are talking about this because it's funny. Tim Young, who's one of the people I follow on Twitter, says, how do I put this gently? Fuck the liberal world order. Margie Taylor Greene says inflation causing money to be tight for many people, especially senior citizens barely able to buy food. Sustained high prices are causing people to drive less because they can't afford it. We will not be paying for Biden's liberal world order. Now, the other reason people are talking about it is because this clip from Biden showed up. Here's this clip from Biden talking about the
national and national norms is the glue that holds the liberal world order together.
That's not what I meant to do. Let's try it again. So this is back in 2017 when Biden could still put two sentences together and actually sound fairly coherent, right? Here's Biden. He used this phrase back then, too. Oh, I already did that. Hang on. Here's the clip.
Folks, this breaking down of the international and national norms is the glue that holds the liberal world order together.
Now, notice he still stumbled on that word a little bit, but he can still talk. But then, he's going downhill really quickly. But
and holds together our system. That is what is being attacked now. And that's what's most dangerous.
Yeah, he's talking to, who's this guy? This is, the fuck's his name? He's a former congressman, I think. Anyway, who cares? I think he's the governor of Ohio or some shit. No, that's not Mike DeWine. Who is that? Someone tell me who that is. Anyway, good morning, Selected Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Nice to see you. And Keebler, what's up? So anyway, this liberal world order, though, and he's talking about how Trump's disrupting the liberal world order. Is that part of the World Economic Forum? I don't know, but a lot of people don't like them talking about any kind of world order. George W. Bush said something about the New World Order, or George H.W. Bush said something about the New World Order, and all these guys talk about New World. I don't want to hear about no New World Order. I'm just saying. I don't want no New World, any kind of world order. Let's just take care of the people here that instead of everybody else. Anyway, that was trending, and then also, let's see. What is this? Oh, I don't know why I have that page. I just closed that. Oh, I know what I did. Hang on. I can't even fix it. Anyway, also, now this thing came out yesterday too. Axios and a couple other outlets posted this story. Now this is an interesting little story we got here. So, and I think NBC, a couple other outlets, I think all these other outlets just got it from Axios. Look at the headline here. It says, Clarence Thomas suggests stupid 19 vacations are created with cells from aborted children. Now, this is a fascinating story because when you read the story, well, let's read a little bit of the story and then I'll get to explain why this is fascinating. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas suggested Thursday in a dissenting opinion that stupid 19 vacations were developed using the cells from aborted children. Thomas dissented to the Supreme Court's refusal to hear a case challenging New York's vaccine mandate based on religion. They objected on religious grounds to all available stupid 19 vaccines because they were developed using cell lines derived from aborted children, Thomas wrote in his dissent, referring to the plaintiffs that brought the lawsuit. Now, we should read that sentence carefully because they debunked their own headline with this line. Clarence Thomas suggests COVID vaccines were created from cells from aborted children. Now let's read that line again. Quote, they object on religious grounds to all available COVID-19 vaccines because they were developed using lines derived from aborted children. He's talking about what they said. He's not suggesting it himself. That's their objection. He's not saying so. So now, and then they put reality check. No coronavirus vaccine in the U.S. contains cells of aborted fetuses. Some vaccines have used fetal cell lines during the early stages of the vaccine development, but the final products do not contain fetal cells. Additionally, these fetal cells came from elective abortions performed decades ago. So they used, it's funny because they use fetal lines to develop the vaccines, but then the final products do not contain the fetal cells. Additionally, these fetal cells came from elective abortion. So now, editor's note, the headline and lead of this story have been updated to note Thomas was referencing cells of aborted children in his dissent. But here's the problem. He didn't do that. He was directly citing arguments from one of the parties, as A.G. Hamilton here says, not making his own claim. The fact that no one in the media seemed able to do basic reports on SCOTUS decisions is a real problem and exhausting to watch. Let's go. In other words, hey, media.
Why the fuck you lying?
Anyway, so, and then he continues. Politico and NBC News also spread this false claim. There's Politico's version. Clarence Thomas claimed a dissenting opinion that stupid 19 vaccines are derived from cells from aborted children. NBC News also says Justice Thomas has debunked claim that stupid 19. This is just a bullshit attack on Clarence Thomas. Also, one left-wing activist at Slate spreads a falsehood about his SCOTUS decision, and it somehow ends up a story in 3 major publications. How does no one in the press see an issue with this? Because they're lying, cheating bastards. Lies, yeah. So, moving on. Also interesting today. This is really interesting. You know how the Biden administration, when the press conferences, and especially when Biden does press appearances, he tends to have they give him a list of people to talk to, and they really control the press when he starts. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do this real quick. Maddie, thank you so much. I saw it and I forgot. Another donation today. Thank you, Maddie. Dropping a 5 spot in the tip jar. Thank you, my dear. Maddie says, liberal world order, Big Brother, Ministry of Truth, the senile senior in chief needs his brain reworked. He's giving away government secrets. Thank you, Maddie, for writing that song for me about President Pudding Brain. All right, stop the music. Thank you, Maddie, for sponsoring the show. You are fantastic. All right, back to the White House press corps has had enough of that bullshit. I'm sorry, I gotta hit the right button. There we go. The White House press corps, 68 White House journalists asked press secretary, that would be Karine Abdul-Jabbar, Karine Jean-Pierre, to end the mysterious pre-screening of reporters let into President Biden's events, calling it antithetical to the concept of free press. What? They're getting tired of the bullshit too? Here it is. Dear Karine Jean-Pierre, We once again respectfully request the Biden administration, without exception, reopen all of the traditional venues for presidential remarks at the White House, including the East Room and the South Court Auditorium, for any reporter admitted to the White House campus. The current method of allowing a limited number of reporters into these events is not only restrictive and antithetical to the concept of a free press, but it has been done without any transparent process into how reporters are selected to cover these events. We are all left wondering who is making these decisions and what are the criteria on which they are based. We appreciate that stupid 19 social distancing guidance played a role at first, but in the year and a half that Joe Biden has been president, and since such guidelines have been eased, we've never gotten an explanation as to why the areas that have been traditionally open to all press remain restricted. For any reporter not in the pool that covers the president, open press remarks represent the only time most of the reporters who cover the president might be positioned to ask him a question or interact with him at all. The continued inability of the White House to be candid and transparent about the decision process for reporters. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. You can read the rest of the letter yourself. Here's the point. They do not want President Puddinbrain to answer questions because they get tired of playing cleanup. And so they're very careful to make sure they have allies in some of those places. It's just, this is good though. I should read the rest of this because there is a good part in here that I forgot to say. The continued inability of the White House to be candid and transparent about the selection process for reporters attending his remarks undermines President Biden's credibility when he says he's a defender of the First Amendment. When does he ever say that? What? The incongruity of these restrictions underscores the belief by many reporters that the administration seeks to limit access to the president by anyone outside of the pool or anyone who might ask a question the administration doesn't want to answer. Oh! They're getting warmer. Let us be candid. Our job is not to be liked, nor is it to be concerned about whether or not you like what we ask. A reporter's ability to question the most powerful man in our government shouldn't be discretionary. Oh my God! Are they actually acting like reporters for a minute? The administration's continued efforts to limit access to the president cannot be defended. Any notion that a space is limited is not supported by the fact that every other president before Biden, including Trump, allowed full access to the very same spaces without making us fill out a request form prior to admittance. Thank you for your attention to these ahistorical problems. We ask that you see to it that the protocols are changed back to the access norms of which we are accustomed. Now, the very good press corps people, I give you credit for writing that letter. Although, I don't know that they'd have to do that, but they should. And now they're even saying, you're worse than Trump. Oh, no. All right. What was that? Fetal slurry brain pudding. This chat and stream is making my inner cannabis mouth water. I'm not sure what the inner cannabis mouth is. All right. All right. Let's see here. What is going on in the chat? I must be missing something here. Okay. All right. I got to keep going because I got a whole lot to get covered today. This is a good one. For the first time ever. Thank God. I've been waiting for this for all of my 50 plus years. Vice President Kamala Harris hosted a drag queen, someone named Shangela, at her residence Tuesday, where he gave a speech. Now, because that's a he, and he's a he, and his pronouns are he, but he's a drag queen, so he looks like that, but he's actually a drag queen. Thank God, we've been just, I feel a little more free today because Kamala Harris had a drag queen at the vice president's residence. Vice President Kamala Harris hosted a drag queen, Shangela, or whatever the fuck his name, at her residence Tuesday, where he gave a speech. Shangela is also known as Darius Jeremy Pierce, who was the first drag queen to make an appearance at a vice presidential residence while in costume. Oh, God, thank goodness. What? Oh, he said cannibal. Oh, cannibal. No, it says cannabis. Okay, he said cannibals, but Jaeger Pony said cannabis. Oh, you said, you're right. I can't fucking see. Okay, I saw Jaeger Pony's cannabis versus inner cannibal. Okay, I got you. I was just reading multiple things. Anyway, Shangela. Tuesday was the anniversary of Stonewall, a protest that sparked from a clash between patrons of a gay bar in Greenwich Village, New York, and police who were raiding the bar at the time. Last night I had this is Shangela. Does anyone care? I'm just excited that we finally got a drag queen in the vice president's residence, as opposed to dragging the queen in the vice president's residence. Anyway, never mind. Does anyone else hear that? It sounds like the circus is in town. Clowns to the left of me, Joker of the right to the right. Here I am stuck in the middle with you. Oh wait, no, clown horn. There you go. All right, I'm excited that the first ever. All right, let's get into some news. Supreme Court limits the EPA in curbing power plant emissions. Now, this is an interesting ruling, and a lot of people don't quite understand it. But here's the story from the AP. Thank you, Gun Fox. I'll move this so you can see it a little better. There we go. Here's in a blow to the fight against climate change, which we've been fighting climate change since the 60s, although for various, let's just say, various reasons. Hello, Ronan, what's up? Nice to see you. You get one of these too. Whoa, no. There we go. Hello, Ronan Wolf, what's up? But in a blow to the fight against climate change. No, this is not a blow to the fight against climate change. The Supreme Court on Thursday limited how the nation's main anti-air pollution law can be used to reduce carbon dioxide emissions from power plants. By a 6-3 vote with conservatives in the majority, the court said that the Clean Air Act does not give the EPA, aka the Environmental Protection Agency, broad authority to regulate greenhouse gas emissions from power plants that contribute to global warming. The decision said that Wait, what? Okay, this is interesting. Instead of citing what the actual decision says, they're talking about what the detractors say. They go right to what the detractors say. The decision, said environmental advocates and dissenting liberal justices, was a major step in the wrong direction. A gut punch, one prominent meteorologist said. Wow, thank you for clearing who that is. Wow, that's a heavy, important voice. One prominent meteorologist said, at the time of increasing environmental damage attributable to climate change amid dire warnings about the future. Wait a minute. At a time of increasing environmental damage attributable to climate change amid dire warnings about the future. I guess you're going to have to prove the causation and correlation and causation. The court's ruling could complicate the administration's plan to combat climate change. Its detailed proposal to regulate power plant emissions is expected by the end of the year. Though the decision was specific to the EPA, it was in line with the conservative majority's skepticism of the power of regulatory agencies, and it set a message on possible future effects beyond climate change and air pollution. Look, this decision takes power away from these stupid unelected bodies, agencies and stuff. If the agencies want to recommend to Congress laws that Congress should write, then they should recommend the laws and have some people persuade Congress people to implement the laws. But what they're doing is the Congress, as you know, all these different agencies, these different, you know, multi-letter agencies, they just start making rules and start enforcing them without a necessarily a mandate. So it basically makes the executive office all powerful. And so that's probably why this decision was made. Let's see. The decision to put an exclamation point on a court term in which a conservative majority, bolstered by 3 appointees of former President Donald Trump, also overturned nearly. They got to put this here. Also overturned the nearly 50-year-old nationwide right to abortion, expanded gun rights, and issued major religious rights rulings, all over liberal dissents. President Joe Biden aims to cut the nation's greed. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to skip this because I'm going to get into the article Eagle Insurrection. But before I do that, thank you. Oh, wait a minute. Let's press the right button here because I need, got to do some music for this. Thank you. All right. Thank you, John, with a big bullet. I don't know which John it is. I guess we'll find out in a minute. Is John Migda here? I'm not even sure. But John, thank you for the big bullet in the tip jar with a simple message that many of you will understand if you're an American. Or maybe even Canadians. I don't know how your holidays work, but in America we get some certain holidays off. And since the 4th of July isn't a Monday this year, John has written the message. No, not the 4 horsemen. 4 days off. Congratulations, John. An extra few days off. It's fantastic on these holiday weekends. And thank you very much for sponsoring the show. That's awesome. All right, turn that down a little bit. Okay, thank you, John. All right, let's get back to that story about the EPA, though, because it's interesting. Supreme Court aborts the Green New Deal, strikes down EPA's carbon emission power grab. Chief Justice Roberts, for the 6-3 majority, said capping carbon dioxide emissions at a level that will force a nationwide transition away from the use of coal to generate electricity may be a sensible solution to the crisis of the day. But it is not plausible that Congress gave EPA the authority to adopt on its own such regulatory scheme. So maybe it's not as big a decision in the public mind as the SCOTUS decision this term on abortion and the Second Amendment, but it is a big one, bigly and big league. The United States Supreme Court, in a majority opinion by Justice Roberts, just ripped the heart out of the Green New Deal agenda, which was being carried forward not by an act of Congress. And that's the point.
I see dead people.
Okay, I see dead bills. Anyway, but by administrative fiat, the Environmental Protection Agency. Not being able to pass legislation to decarbonize the economy, Democrats relied on agency action. The case is West Virginia versus EPA, where, and if you want the docket, you can, I'll put a link out to that one too, where the question presented was, in 42 USC 74411, an ancillary provision of the Clean Air Act, did Congress constitutionally authorize the Environmental Protection Agency to issue significant rules, including those capable of reshaping the nation's electricity grids and unilaterally decarbonizing virtually any sector of the economy without any limits on what the agency can require, so long as it considers costs, non-air impacts, and energy requirements. Sounds a little bit dry, huh? But it's a big fucking deal. As Politico noted, it goes even beyond regulating carbon emissions and goes to the heart of the ever-expanding administrative state, how SCOTUS' upcoming climate rules could defang Washington. Quote, and now this is from the Political article. The Supreme Court is expected to issue a ruling this month hobbling the Biden administration's efforts to rein in greenhouse gases. but its impact could weaken Washington's power to oversee wide swaths of American life. And that's what it should be. That's the way it should be. The decision on the Environmental Protection Agency's climate oversight offers the conservative justice an opportunity to undermine federal regulations on a host of issues. Yes! From drug prices and financial regulations to net neutrality. Critics of the EPA have clamored for the High Court to do just that by declaring it unlawful for federal agencies to make major decisions without clear authorization from Congress. And that's the way it should be. That's just the way it is. Some things have to change. Anyway, and so that's what they did. From the majority opinion, the Clean Air Act authorizes the Environmental Protection Agency to regulate power plants by setting a standard of performance for their emission of certain pollutants into the air. That standard may be different for new and existing plants, but in each case, it must reflect the best system of emission reduction that the agency has determined to be adequately demonstrated for the particular category. For existing plants, the states then implementing that requirement by issuing rules restricting emissions from sources within their borders. Such passage of the Act 50 years ago, the EPA has exercised this authority by setting performance standards based on measures that would reduce pollution by causing plants to operate more cleanly. In 2015, however, EPA issued a new rule concluding that the best system of emission reduction for existing coal-fired power plants included a requirement that such facilities reduce their own production of electricity or subsidize increased generation by natural gas, wind, or solar sources. The question before us is whether this broader conception of EPA's authority is within the power granted to it by the Clean Air Act. What they decided is no, they should not be able to do that because that would be legislation, not rulemaking, and it should be, that's something that should be voted on. That's not something that some unelected agency should just be able to say, hey, we're going to tell you what the fuck to do, and so on and so forth. All right. Anyway, I got a couple other articles on this. Let's see, that's the, oh, I don't need that. Oh, that's the actual docket. You don't need that. I'll skip that. Let's see. Now let's see. There's another article. I'm not going to that. I'll just go ahead and get to Tires Streamlabs here. Thank you, sir, for sponsoring the show one more time. I appreciate it. And let's get some. Let's try Fickle Skunk. I never heard of this one. Oh, that's funky. Because it is. By the way, did I mention it's Funky Friday? Tire Alexander with a small bullet in the tip jar. Tire says, Larry from Channel 9 needs to stop making comments. He hasn't been correct on anything since he faked the hurricane incident. Now we have sports from P-Dog, beauty tips from D.I. Freighter, Lotto with Maddie Avocados, and Gunfox with Legal. More at 11. Yes. Thank you, Tyler Alexander, for sponsoring the show. That's fabulous. On this Funky Friday. All right, let's turn that down. All right, let's go. Let's move on. Why did I have this open? Oh, 4th of July is trending on Twitter, so I opened this up, but I really didn't have anything to say. I was trying to figure if anything's good on here. Anomaly, the rapper, Legendary Energy is his handle, says, God is great. Have a great 4th of July weekend. Let's see. A friendly reminder, Kaspersky is a national security threat and needs to be banned everywhere. I don't know who Kaspersky is. Made in America matters now more than ever. Wishing you all a happy 4th of July weekend. What the fuck is Kaspersky? Kaspersky, thanks for giving us access to your data and network. Kaspersky users, you wouldn't abuse that for Russia, right? Right? Anyone know what Kaspersky is? I don't really care, I guess. Anyway, if you want to see what people are saying about 4th of July, hello. Oh, I got to be careful when I scroll through these because every once in a while you might get something that you don't want to see on YouTube. So Anyway, skip that. Here's the next one. A couple of these. So about this EPA ruling, there's been a couple meltdowns, and we're going to watch a couple of them. One was the meltdown on MSNBC. Just the scaremongering is amazing. Okay, it's just amazing. So here's the MSNBC reaction to this ruling on the EPA.
Loss for the Biden administration, but also for the country.
And I will say to you, just everything that I've read so far, and obviously we'll have to study it more, suggests a major loss for climate regulation. I don't think it's right to think about it as a loss for Biden or anything. I think it's a loss of the federal government's ability to regulate climate change in a 6-3 fully throated decision by the chief.
Stop right there. Doom, doom, doom. I gotta know right now. How the hell does it stop the federal government if you do it right with a vote? You might have to stay all night and argue about it on the congressional floor. And if you don't shut the fuck up, I don't want to hear no more. It does not. It just means you have to pass laws. You can't just have some unelected agency making new rules. Fuckers.
Chief Justice. And just to give you a sense of how dangerous and scary the decision is, let me read to you the last words of Justice Kagan's dissent today in the case. She says,
here's
quote,
just
the subject matter of the regulation here makes the court's intervention all the more troubling. Whatever else this court may know about, it does not have a clue about how to address climate change. And let's say it's not the court's job to address climate change. It's the legislature. You can't just have some unelected fuckwads that are appointed by the administration. You can't give the executive branch full power on regulation. And when you have agencies do it that are controlled by the executive branch, they overstep their bounds of their job. This is not legislation. This is dictatorial rule. And the court said, fuck off. Not in so many words. Obvious. The stakes here are high. Yet the court prevents congressionally authorized agency action to curb carbon dioxide emissions. The court appoints itself instead of Congress or the expert agency, the decision maker on climate policy. I cannot think of many things more frightening. Respectfully, I dissent. I think that tells us just how significant
really,
this
it's interesting you're not reading the actual decision.
Not just in removing a power from the federal government, but removing a power.
Yes. Let's remove power from the federal government. That's the way it should be. That's just the way it is.
Over climate regulation, what the Supreme Court earlier, 15 years ago, described as one of the most major pressing environmental issues of our time.
You know what? It's been the most pressing environmental issue of our time since the 60s, because we've had all these people saying, oh my God, we're going to have global cooling, the world's going to freeze, we're going to have a new ice age, we're going to have this, we're going to have that, then it's going to get warmer. Oh no, it's going to get colder, it's going to get warmer, it's going to be warmer, and then we're going to have no more water in Miami, and the flooding in all of Florida, and the water will flood over New York City, and everyone's going to be drowning, but then it's everything's going to be on fire, and the world's going to end, all by 2000. Oh, and then after that, by 2015, there'll be no polar bears. By 2016, there'll be no ice cap. There'll be no ice in the Arctic. By 2017, there'll be no ice in the Arctic because there was ice in the Arctic by 2016, but we went to 2017. Now there'll be no ice in the Arctic by 2020, even though there was ice in the Arctic in 2019 and 2020, and there was ice in the Arctic last winter. But it's never ending. Oh my God, set your hair on fire. Everybody run and scream and, they just want control. Real quick, let me get this ugly dude off my screen and say, thank you, Fight for Our Right. Sponsor the show with a 10 spot in YouTube Super Chats. Greatly appreciated. And, I got to tell you, every once in a while, we get a comment on the channel that is so amazingly adept and beyond compare that I have to talk a little more about it. Fight for Our Rights says, donation for your beautiful voice. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Fight for Your Rights. I'm very humble about my beautiful voice. All right. Enough of my bullshit. Okay. Thank you very much for sponsoring the show. And you're awesome. And also thank you, John Migda, with a 2 and 23. That's a small bullet. Thank you, sir, for sponsoring the show. And you get your own music. Let's try this one. John Migda with a small bullet says, "Get that hate out of your heart, mister." That sounds like a song. Get that hate out your heart, mister. Get that hate out of your heart. Get that hate out your heart, mister. Get that hate out your heart. Hey! Get the hate out of your heart. Get the hate out of your heart. Bam! Ha! Hit me! Ah! Okay, enough of that shit. Get the hate out your heart! All right. Anyway, hi, Richo. How you doing, brother? I see you there. I think I did. Didn't I just see Richo here? There you are. Yeah, to be honest, wasn't expecting it, but good on them. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, all right. All right, so this jackhole. I'm having too much fun today, I think. I'm having too much damn fun. So what does the LC have to say? Anyway, it's scare. Everyone's scaremongering, right?
In conjunction with the earlier
Okay, let me stop. We're going to go to the next one. But point is, they're not stopping the federal government's power to regulate certain things and make decisions about how these, right, the afraid to watch the sky is falling. They're just taking away from the unelected agency. The court says, no, the legislature are the people who should be doing that. And if the EPA wants to make recommendations to the legislatures for laws they should pass, this should be a part of the democratic process. And so there you go. But, over at This Is CNN, they're very concerned about this too. Let's see what these individuals, these ladies here, said about it on CNN and see if they got it any better right. Because wait a minute. Fresh out of law school, CNN Newsroom co-host Poppy Harlow asked national correspondent Renee Marsh to talk to people about the actual implications of this. Okay, let's see what she says. This is a couple minutes clip here.
A major takedown of the administrative state here.
Yes.
It is a major takedown of the administrative state, Jessica, because it goes way beyond the EPA. Renee, talk to people about the actual implications of this, given, as I said, the same day oral argument happened in this case. The UN came out with this climate report and said any further delay in addressing climate change
then that's
will miss a brief and rapidly closing window of opportunity to secure a livable, sustainable future for all.
I think just regular folks who are watching at home, how this impacts us, this ruling will impact many people's lives because this is happening in the context of climate change here. Now, we have seen the flooding, we have seen the heat waves, we have seen the 22-year mega
We've
drought
never had heat waves
west.
before.
We have seen the
We've
longer,
never had
more
a heat waves
intense
before.
wildfire season.
We've never had wildfires
and
before.
This is just
We've
the
had
beginning.
None of this before. It's
it is
never happened ever in the history of the world.
EPA's ability to regulate power plants and the emissions that come from these power plants is like saying you can cut the grass, but we're taking away your lawnmower. So get out your scissors.
Is that? Wait, whoa. You can cut the grass, but we're taking away your lawnmower. Huh. I just can't. Hello, Aaron Meredith. I just can't.
EPA, because that is the situation. The EPA has had this posture that they will find ways to continue to curb greenhouse gases, but I have to say this is it makes it just very difficult for
you. Heat wave, what is that? Flooding, what is that? Yeah, heat waves and flooding. If the heat wave is there's a drought, but then you're flooding, what? I don't need a lawnmower. I have a can of gas, and a match still. There you go.
For them to do this job of curbing these gases in such a dramatic way that scientists have been sounding the alarm that we need to do.
40,
Congress
50,
does have
60
the ability
years.
to codify an abortion right.
Okay, that has to do with the abortion. Oh, wait, did they talk about this? Hang on a second.
For example, Congress does have the ability to explicitly say the EPA can regulate on issues of climate change.
But they can't. That's just it. The regulatory state is basically forcing people but Congress has to explicitly say that. So they need to come to Congress and say, this is what we need. And then Congress can pass the bill that says, okay, we'll give it to you. But you can't just, the EPA is not a congressional body. The EPA is basically appointed by the president. It's part of the executive branch. So, good God.
It just has enacted.
That's the point. I mean, that's a feature.
Oh, by the way, everyone say hi to Jeffrey Toobin. Sorry, did I do that? I hope I don't get kicked off YouTube for that. I probably will.
Not a bug. The reason conservatives and the Federalist Society
keep your hands where we can see them, Jeffrey.
To limit want to push these doctrines is because they know that Congress is not going to be able to pass these laws. So,
so you can't convince Congress then, right? So they know they can't get Congress to pass these laws, so let's just have a unelected regulatory body pass it. You see where the problem is here? That's hilarious. Where are your hands, Jeffrey?
When the court says it's up to Congress to address climate change,
they know.
What they are really saying is, we don't want climate change addressed.
We've focused a lot on what this court has done to individual rights, especially with abortion. But another pattern of this court has been stripping regulatory authority from the federal government.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture
it does
creates
not
inspection standards
strip
for food plants.
Regulatory authority from the federal government. You dumb hoe. It strips it from the agencies. The federal government is the Congress and the executive branch that passes laws, not some unelected body of bureaucrats who make it up as they go along. If they want to make it up and they want to prove it to the Congress, and the Congress can pass the what? Oh God. If they want to go to Congress and say, hey, we need this authority, and Congress passes the bill that, hey, we give you this authority, then it's fine. But you can't just go out willy-nilly because you have some partisan dickwads in there who's saying, we think it's a good idea just to shut this down and you can pay for it on your own, whatever. So anyway, what's this guy?
Is that a major question? We might not think so, but if we're talking about beef, how many Americans consume beef? What a major question is, Poppy, is what a judge says it is. And that opens the door for not just the Supreme Court, but for lower court judges.
Okay, whatever that meant. Anyway, Jesus, these people. Okay, John. Thank you, John Megda. I'm finding appropriate music for this one. Thank you, John Megda, for sponsoring the show via YouTube Super Chat. Oh, yeah. Now, I bet you're wondering why I chose this sexy time music. Well, John says lubin with tubin. Oh, we're lubin with Jeffrey Toobin. I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit just now. Oh, what is wrong with me? Good God. Turn that shit off. All right, I gotta get caught up here. I'm having too much fun with this. Yes, I hope. Yes, Mike, you're disturbed. I understand. I understand. I'm disturbed that I did that. I couldn't help myself. All right. Now, another Supreme Court ruling that came down, and this one's a little more serious. And it's also, all of them are serious, but this one is one that the liberals, I guess, are happy about. In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court just made it easier for illegal immigrants to stay in the U.S. Did I say something wrong? Everyone's throwing up. Oh, yes. Hello, why are you so angry? By the way, hit the like button. The U.S. Supreme Court sided with the Biden administration on this one on Thursday as he seeks to end hardline immigration policy under his predecessor, Donald Trump. That forced tens of thousands of migrants to stay in Mexico to await U.S. hearings on their asylum claims. The justices, in a 5-4 ruling authored by Chief Justice Roberts, overturned a federal appeals court decision requiring Biden to restart Trump's Remain in Mexico policy after Republican-led states of Texas and Missouri sued to maintain the program. The ruling is a victory for Biden, who appealed to the lower court's decision and his plans to implement more, quote, humane approach at the southern border. The justice concluded that the New Orleans-based Fifth Circuit U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals erred in finding that federal immigration law required sending migrants back to Mexico as long as there was not enough space to detain them in the United States. The justice also threw out the Fifth Circuit's decision to avoid the administration's June 2021 decision to end the program. The Fifth Circuit found that the administration had failed to properly explain its rescinding of the Trump policy in violation of federal administrative law, but the Supreme Court found that the June 2021 decision was superseded by a new, more detailed one issued by the administration 4 months later. Now, as much as and here's the article from the Washington Free Beacon. If you want to read it, it'll be in the links. By the way, everything, all these articles, tweets, and whatnot, of video, everything will be in a single link in the description down below in the second paragraph of the description. I will update that at the end of the show during the outro and let you know when that's changed. Or you can come back later if you want to find these articles. They will all be here. Now, I am surprised that this was a 5-4 decision. I believe, as much as I cannot stand the Biden administration's policy on immigration, I said this during the Trump administration, too, when people took the Trump administration to court over different areas that they wanted to change on immigration. Immigration policy is exclusively the purview of the executive branch of the United States government, and Donald Trump, who implemented policies that he wanted, should not have been deterred by court decisions on his policies that they decided to implement. And I agree that the Biden administration also should be able to administer immigration policy as they wish, even if I disagree with it vehemently, and unless Congress takes some kind of action that can deter that. But although they would have to have a pretty healthy majority in both houses to be able to do that. But the Biden administration should be able to implement their policies as they would and not as the Trump administration would. There's no law stating that the policy that the Trump administration had in the last administration, it wasn't necessarily a law. It was the way they decided to implement the, the sort of orderly border policies. Now, do I think the Biden administration sucks as far as border? Absolutely. And I wish I had a ticker the day that he said Kamala Harris was the border czar and how long it's been since that she has not gone to the border, but whatever. I don't know if, let's see. Now, it's interesting because this one doesn't seem to have, this doesn't even talk about the decision and the dissent. So I don't know if they didn't have any of the writing of the decision or the dissent. But the Supreme Court did write in this case, even though I don't think that it's smart policy by the Biden administration. On that note, though, an article in Breitbart, only 1.6% of the Remain in Mexico migrants have valid asylum claims. So that's the other part. You know, they say they're claiming asylum, and only 1.6% of them have a valid claim. Even a valid claim, not even a claim that can be, confirmed. While the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that President Biden can end the Remain in Mexico program, federal data reveals that just 1.6% of migrants enrolled in the program have had valid claims for asylum to remain in the U.S. because they all know that they can try to run out the clock by claiming asylum, and so if Biden lets them in, and then they have to come back for adjudication of that asylum claim, they can just disappear. And so that's kind of the Biden way of doing things. Remain in Mexico was first implemented in 2019 by President Trump's administration, designed to quickly return border crossers to Mexico as they awaited their asylum and immigration hearings in the U.S. The program effectively sought to end the practice known as catch and release, whereby border crossers are released into the U.S. interior with only the promise that they will show up for future court dates. The latest federal data shows that the program also helped massively reduce asylum fraud. Of the more than 45,000 Remain in Mexico cases adjudicated since 2019, less than 740 migrants have been found to have legitimate asylum claims to remain. Out of 45,000, 740 had legitimate claims of asylum. 45,740. That's 1.6%. Because they're all, it's because there's so many people that go down there and try to help them. Well, here's how you get here's how you can get it. You can claim asylum, and here's some things you got to say to make it seem like you need asylum when you really just, we just want you to come here and do whatever. So anyway, do I have another one on that one? I think I can skip that. Is that right? Oh, yeah, there's just another article on the ruling in Biden's favor. Like I said, I hate the ruling. I hate the fact that the Biden administration is doing what it's doing. However, it is the Biden administration's prerogative. It's their prerogative to administer immigration policy as they see fit, even if they suck. All right. By the way, I just caught an episode of what is it called? Something Being Bobby Brown. Apparently he has a reality show called Being Bobby Brown. He's back trying to just do some nostalgia touring with apparently the guys that were from what was that band called? The group they were called New Edition. Some of the guys from New Edition are doing touring, and he's doing some solo touring and stuff. That dude, okay, I guess it's interesting to watch just because Bobby Brown was always super fit and whatnot, and he had his issues when he was with Whitney Houston. He used to be a real drug addict and cokehead and all that shit, and then he's got himself cleaned up though, but he's an old man like me, and it's interesting just watching people go to his concerts. But anyway, thank you. We have another sponsor today. Let me get let's see what this is. Oh, well, this is not meant to be a sexy donation message, but American Company is one of our great sponsors. I'm gonna go with it. Thank you, American Company, one of the great sponsors of the Morning Night Live. That's kind of quiet. Let's turn that up. From the makers of wood chippers, bats, and more, we've come up with a brand new hacksaw. Got a body or two that needs to be disposed of? This tool is for you. Buy 2 and get 50% off on a 55-gallon drum of acid. American made, mob approved. Proud sponsor of the Morning Night Live American Companies. Why do I get the feeling that message from American Companies had something to do with my Jeffrey Toobin song? Anyway, thank you, American Companies. Gunfox 61, a great writer of ads for the show. All right, stop the music. Good job. That was a good one. That was good. All right, let's see. I got a few more to get through, and let's get out of here. Deal with the devil. Oh, did you hear about this? So, the liberals are pissed off about this one. Holy shit, are they mad? I saw a lot of people tweeting about this. So apparently, Joe Biden made a deal with Mitch McConnell, and he made a deal with Mitch McConnell. In fact, I think we're going to do this Mitch McConnell style. Deal with the devil. Secret Biden-McConnell deal on anti-abortion GOP judge enrages Democrats. Oh, no. Oh, no. Where's here? This needs this.
Your life makes me sad.
Democrats are blasting President Joe Biden for agreeing to nominate an anti-abortion Republican to a lifetime federal judgeship in Kentucky, less than a week after the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. Oh, my goodness. The president is making a deal with the devil once again, and the people of Kentucky are crushed in the process, Democratic U.S. Senate candidate Charles Booker tweeted after the Courier-Journal broke the story on Wednesday. Charles Booker is the guy, I think he's trying to run against Rand Paul. I think he ran against Mitch McConnell and got blasted in Kentucky. Now he's running against Rand Paul. And I got a feeling that Rand Paul is probably pretty popular in Kentucky, despite what others might tell you. Anyway, at a time when we are fighting to protect human rights, this is a complete slap in the face, according to Booker. U.S. Representative John Yarmouth, a Democrat in Louisville, confirmed Biden is poised to nominate Chad Meredith to a U.S. District Court in the Eastern District of Kentucky, called it a huge mistake. Why would you pick him to fill a federal vacancy when you're a Democratic president is beyond me? Yarmouth said the nomination is bad not only because Meredith is anti-abortion, but because of his actions in the General Counsel office when he helped former Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin issue hundreds of controversial pardons at the end of the term that spurred outrage and a federal investigation. Governor Andy Beshear said Thursday he strongly opposes the pick, saying his team was informed last week that Biden intended to nominate Meredith. So anyway, he made some kind of a deal with McConnell. And part of it is because McConnell had been blocking nominations. Biden was poised to nominate Meredith presumably at the result of an undisclosed deal with Mitch McConnell, Yarmouth told the Courier. McConnell's blocked the nominations of 2 lawyers for the U.S. attorney positions. They're recommended by Yarmouth. The presumption is with Meredith's nomination, McConnell would agree not to hold up future federal nominations from the Biden White House. Yarmouth says, well, so McConnell's just playing some hardball politics with the president. I mean, that as if Democrats don't do the same shit. Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. Yes, Avocados Diabli. Very good. New edition. I'm sorry, that was really random. I just saw that in the chat. So anyway, Democrats are pissed off. And so here, in the meantime, though, I'm just going to, what is this? Oh, no. Biden urges Congress to, he urges Congress to codify abortion rights, even if he has to suspend the filibuster. Oh, this. Yeah, so in the same time, though, why is that doing that? Why is this? There we go. Biden's calling for Congress to end the filibuster. He made that formal. He said this out loud now. So here it is in this clip here. Come on. Oh, shoot. That has a commercial. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, President Joe Biden announced on Thursday that he would support nixing the filibuster to pass nationwide abortion laws through the Senate. And that's not going to happen because Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin have said even for that, they would not suspend the filibuster. But anyway, Biden says, we have to codify Roe versus Wade into law. And the way we do that is make sure Congress votes to do that. Biden said at a news conference in Europe, and if the filibuster gets in the way, it's like voting rights. We provide an exception for this, or an exception to the filibuster for this action. The exhortation follows the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, the 1973 decision claiming that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution protects abortion. At the end of last week, while several Democrat-run states have pushed for removing limits on abortion, Republican-run states began implementing more regulations. It is a mistake, in my view, for the Supreme Court to do what it did, Biden continued. I feel extremely strongly that I'm going to do everything in my power, which I legally can in terms of executive orders, as well as push the Congress and the public. Which means really nothing. Anyway, so he's pushing to end the filibuster, even though it ain't happening. I gotta tell you, a lot of these people are calling for the abolition of the filibuster, but they're obviously they're outrageous with Manchin and Sinema, as called. Okay, this is the next article, in fact. But I still don't think it's going to happen, and it would be a bad idea. And I think Manchin and Sinema are the only Democrats who can see into the future. Now, there's people out there claiming that, oh, well, as soon as the Republicans get power, they're going to abolish the filibuster. Well, they didn't last time they did, and there were calls for it, and they didn't do it. Liberal media figures have reignited their outrage towards Democratic Senators Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona over their opposition to the removing of the filibuster. Joe Biden, along with congressional Democrats, have called for changing the filibuster in an effort to codify Roe v. Wade into law. The filibuster allows senators to block a vote on legislation unless 60 members vote to override it and end debate. Minnesota representative, oh God, the moron from Minnesota. He's not in my district, though. Democratic Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar called for Manchin and Sinema, along with Republican Senators Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine, to take a vote in order to show them turning their backs on women's rights. At a minimum, the Senate should get rid of the filibuster. You know what? I'm not reading this thread, but it's one of these Twitter threads that you go, this woman's a moron. I'm not even going to read it. I'll just put it out there in the links. I got to move on because I've been running out of time. Venerable Dem mum on Biden's call to abolish vulnerable Dem is mum on Biden's call to abolish filibuster. Senator Maggie Hassan last year abandoned support for filibuster for election reform. Senator Maggie Hassan, Democrat New Hampshire, last year abandoned her long-held support for the filibuster in an attempt to pass Democrats' so-called voting rights legislation. But just months later, the vulnerable Democrat candidate is silent. Silence! On President Joe Biden's call to abolish the voting threshold to codify Roe versus Wade. Biden on Thursday called for what the fuck is that? Anyway, Biden on Thursday called for an exception to the filibuster to enshrine abortion rights after the overturn of Roe versus Wade, a position Hassan is yet to support, even though she said the Supreme Court decided to take away a woman's most fundamental freedom in its ruling last week. Well, it's not their most fundamental freedom. It's a freedom that the court granted you, but it's not the most fundamental freedom for a woman is an abortion. I'm sorry. If it was the most, does that mean every woman needs an abortion? That's your most fundamental freedom? Really? What about the women who don't get pregnant until they want babies? Is that still your most fundamental freedom? Or is it's just freedom of movement your most fundamental freedom? Freedom to open your mouth and say stupid shit like that, your most fundamental freedom. Freedom to own a gun and put it, never mind. I'm sorry, it's not your most fundamental freedom. Even bodily autonomy is not your most fundamental freedom because you don't have bodily autonomy because they try to force you to get the juice. They don't allow you to sell body parts. They don't let you to sell yourself in prostitution. Those would be fundamental freedoms, wouldn't they? Huh? Oh, no, oh, wait, I got a couple of them here. First of all, I missed one. Let me go back. You know what? Let me just, before I do these, I'm going to do these at the end because I got to just tell you what's in the other articles because I can't get to them all. Anyway, she's not talking, though, because she's vulnerable. And I think that people know that ending the filibuster is really bad for small states. So, just saying. Now, Democrats have, just the other articles that I have out here, if my mouse will start working again. Come on, mouse. There we go. Democrats have advanced a budget to inflate the CDC and National Institute of Health budgets with no Hyde Amendment. Now, if you're not familiar with the Hyde Amendment is the rule that the federal government cannot pay for abortions. Well, the House Appropriations Committee for Labor, Health, and Human Services advanced a budget Thursday that would add millions of new funding for health agencies and discard the Hyde Amendment. That ain't happening. You're not going to get... Oh, that's a budget issue. So they could possibly, I think in the Senate, that's possible. Budget items, I don't think you can filibuster budget items. That's interesting. Wouldn't change the rules on the Hyde Amendment, but anyway, that's interesting. You read about that. Also, in Breitbart, the White House National Economic Director Deese, we talked about paying. Oh, he was saying that paying high gas prices is about the future of the liberal world order. Here's that guy who said that. How long is this? Is this really long?
Phil. All right, joining us now is Brian Deese. He's the director of the National Economic.
I might do another show this afternoon. Who knows? Because I want to get to a couple of these. But anyway, this is a guy that talked about the New World Order. Also, Joe Biden insists he will not beg Saudi Arabia to produce more oil. He says Joe Biden refused Thursday to ask Saudi Arabia to produce more oil to bring down the cost of gasoline in the United States and around the world. Biden was specifically asked during his press conference in Europe about what he would say to Saudi King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud or Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman about oil during their scheduled meeting in July. Because the Saudis already told them to fuck off about that. I think they're already producing about as well. They could produce, anyone could produce more, but we're not doing our full production. It's, he says, I'm not going to ask him. He said, noting he already indicated to all Gulf heads of states his desire for them to produce more oil. He's not going to piss them off because they're already pissed off at him and they think he's a schmuck. Anyway, now this is interesting. Ro Khanna, of all people, must be feeling the heat of the Democrat midterm elections because Ro Khanna is one of the most liberal people in Congress. And Ro Khanna is calling on President Biden to stop exporting oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve in other countries and to step up domestic oil production in the United States. Who the hell is this guy? Oh my God, Ro Khanna is saying that we should produce more oil in the United States? Holy shit, they're shitting bricks over the midterms. Also, and these articles are in full when you get to the tab, there's a red flag that America just entered a recession. The Federal Bank of Atlanta reached a major red flag Thursday that the U.S. economy just entered a general slowdown of the economy or a recession. The U.S. gross domestic product growth in the second quarter of 2022 fell to negative 1% based on available data for the current measured quarter. The Atlanta Fed reported the Atlanta Fed uses the GDP Now model as an unofficial forecast to estimate U.S. GDP growth based on similar methodology used by the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. Hold your socks, people. It's coming. Also in the tabs, Federal Reserve Chairman says fixing inflation highly likely to involve some pain for Americans. Pain. No shit. Hey, dipshit Powell. We've been feeling the pain already. How about you guys get your shit together? God, that's just stupid. And here's an opinion in the New York Post. The Fed's hawkish policies risk making the economy's doom loop worse. Like Biden fucking around with gas taxes and shit, which probably make gas go even higher. I don't know. You can read these on your own. What else do I got? Oh, this is the most important part of the show, and I'll get to the super chats after this. So, remember last year when the price of a cookout was going to be an entire 16 cents better than the year before? Here it is. The cost of a 4th of July cookout in 2021 is down 16 cents from last year. You got $8.20 ground beef, $4.69 ice cream, $11.63 on pork chops, and $3.65 on some freshly squeezed lemonade, and sliced cheese, $4.05, down 1%, chips down 1%, blah, 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 blah. Fuck off. Well, shut and chaser. This is last year's tweet showing the that stupid shit. Well, here is what's happening this year. So we got last year planning a cookout there. Listen to the stupid puns too. Planning a cookout this year? Catch up on the news. According to the Farm Bureau, the cost of a 4th of July barbecue is down from last year. It's a fact you must heard. Hot dog, the Biden economic plan is working, and that's something we can all relish. Well, motherfuckers, here's what's happening this year. The average cost for 10 in 2020, $59.66. 2021, $59.50. That's the 16 cent difference. Hey, it's up $10 this year. So that's the effect of inflation. Not to mention the gas that costs to get your friends and family to come over for the cookout. Fuck off, Biden administration. All right, let's finish up the show with the last couple supers here. Appreciate you guys who sponsor the show, and I appreciate you guys who just come and hang out and make me laugh at some of the comments and stuff. By the way, hello T-Ball. By the way, I just noticed you're in the chat. And did I get sucked a boy? I think I did.
Yeah, boy.
All right, let's finish off the show with a couple supers. And oh my goodness, I did not even realize that this man was in the house. And well, here we go. Nope. Here we go. This is what I need. Nope, that ain't it. Hang on. Nope. Nope, that ain't it. Hang on. I got to get it right. Oh, come on now. Come on. Somebody help me out here. I need, nope. How about here with this one? Oh yeah. This is it. It might be the same one as last time. Come on. Thank you, Jeffrey Tubin, who I didn't even know was watching the show today. Dropping a small bullet in the tip jar. Jeffrey Tubin says, visit my store, Lubin with Tubin. Discount code P-Dog. Jeffrey, don't you ever use my name as a discount code ever again. But thank you for sponsoring the show. And also, thank you, Ronan Wolf, with the most patriotic donation ever in the United States of America, with an absolute Stars and Stripes 1776, who says, P-Dog, since I'm in your backyard, I have to say, have a great weekend. Also, you doing the trail stop Saturday? Well, Ronan, unfortunately this week, the P-Dog Night family is going to be at a family cabin up somewhere in northern Wisconsin. So I'm not doing a trail stop this week. Although, they're not doing a brunch Monday, so no, we're not doing it this week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's finish off the show with thank yous and all that stuff. Before you go, if you haven't done so already, throw a like in that like thing. Hit that thumbs up or whatever. Hit something on the clicker below this video. Also, if you can always recommend the show, share it before, during, and after the show. And thank you. Oh, if you're watching on a replay, put a comment in the comment section. That always helps. And thank you to our sponsors today. We had a bunch of sponsors. Salute Cannon Hotep. Everyone say hi to Cannon Hotep in the chat. But our sponsor today, I got to look a little more closely. Gunfox 61, Jaeger Pony, Maddie, John Migda, Tyre Alexander, Fight for Our Right, John Migda again and again. Gunfox, thank you. That would be American Company, Ronan Wolf, and Jeffrey Tubin. And Jaeger Pony, you are the Streamlab Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to go. I do need a 3-hour show sometimes. I really do, because I didn't get to half the shit I wanted to. But anyway, thank you so much for being here today. I can't thank you enough. I hope you all have a fantastic 4th of July weekend. I am doing a show Monday morning. Who knows what I'm doing tomorrow? I might do one while I'm driving up to the cabin. And I might do this this afternoon. Who knows? Just if you see a notification, that means I'm doing a show. So make sure you have your notifications on and hit the bell, click that bell thingy, or you can just follow me on social media. I'm at P-Dog Night pretty much everywhere. Twitter, Mindsgab, Parler, CloudHub, Getter, something, and whatever. And I hope y'all have a great weekend. Oh, one more. FTG to the Regime Barbecue and R. Kelly and Ghislaine should both serve 30 years. That's from Select a Boy. Thank you for sponsoring the show.
Yeah, boy!
Yeah, that's right. R. Kelly got 30 years and Ghislaine got 20. You know, it's interesting because someone made a comment about that, saying that the wealth bracket of Ghislaine as far exceeds R. Kelly. But I don't think that's it. I think that's, there's the super that just popped up there. I think first of all, you can't compare sentencings in two different jurisdictions. That's the number one. And number two, the women's always get lower sentences unless they do something super duper heinous. But anyway, thank you, Select the Boy, for sponsoring the show. All our sponsors today, all the people in the chat, all the people lurking. I love every one of you. You guys have a great weekend. Make some good barbecue. I shouldn't say that because not everyone makes good barbecue. But I make good barbecue, but I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to be cooking steaks this weekend. But anyway, y'all have a wonderful weekend. Happy 4th of July. We'll be celebrating America on Monday, even though I've already started with my new background here. I see that the flag. You notice the flag back there? Anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. I got to go. My name's P-Dog Night. And I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Night, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Night, and I'm out of here.